Hi. Did you know that if a butterfly shits in someone's hair in the Philippines, someone in Guadalupe loses all of their armpit hairs? And if somebody in Guadalupe loses all of their armpit hairs, somebody in Hawaii develops an anal rash? That's the world we live in. That's the world that we all live in. And this is Rick Harsch. This is my master class. Today I'm talking about autobiographical fiction. The reason I mention these far-flung, strange things that happen is because they happen in our lives, and it may not. You may not be the one to get the rash. You may not get the butterfly shit in your hair. You may not even lose your armpit hair. You probably even never been to Guadalupe. I haven't. But the thing is, if these are all things that happen while we're alive, are they part of our autobiography? I wonder about that. Because for some reason, people have always, well, a lot of people throughout my life have said, Rick, you ought to write your autobiography. Well, okay, I could write my autobiography. I could start with something like this. Right now, I'm eating chili. I like my chili really hot. That's a fact about me. That would be in my autobiography, wouldn't it? Yeah. I made this yesterday. I put a bunch of extra red pepper in it, some hot sauce. Hot enough. Anyway, the thing is, it's hard to tell what an autobiography is, or should be. What do I put in there in my autobiography? Do I tell you about how when I was in high school, whenever my father got a company car, I would take it out as soon as possible with my friends Jim Ritter and Mike Hewitt, and we'd get bombed and listen to Floyd and Zeppelin and drive the car trying to get over 100 miles an hour and go over the railroad tracks that were kind of on a slant, and so you'd fly in the air. And that I did that every single time, and that often I drove home and had no recollection of it. So somehow I survived a wild, drunken teen. Should I tell you about the times that I threw vegetables at my neighbor's house, or broke windows, or that kind of thing? Should I tell you how bad I felt when my girlfriend in 7th grade told me I wasn't cool, and that's why we were breaking up? Should I tell you about the Iranian Marxist girlfriend I had who punched me right here in a car? She drove me across the Mississippi River, and this went bam. I don't know. Somebody told her I was cheating on her. I was cheating on her. Should I tell you about the women who cheated on me? Should I tell you how bad I felt? What else is there? I could talk about my writing, but I don't know. You could just read my writing and you'd know. So, what is autobiographical fiction? Another aspect of fiction that would be part of this equation is, or autobiography. Is autobiography fiction by nature? It's another question. But let's just talk autobiographical fiction. About me and my exciting life. The question that also comes up is, who is the narrator of a novel? Is it me? If I'm writing a third-person novel, am I the narrator? I'm not sure. I really don't know. So, there are all these questions in my mind. And the biggest question I have really is, why the fuck would anybody ask me to write an autobiographical anything? What's so interesting about me? It's not interesting to me because I've already done it. And seen it and whatever. When I got hit by a car on a bicycle, I'd say that was one of the interesting things that happened to me. But, I already went through it. Best thing about that was being in the hospital in Isola, Slovenia, having my boss come and visit me. And I had a dislocated shoulder and a broken arm. And, I really needed a smoke, man. And before they could relocate, my blood had to be right. And so I had to sort of exist like that. Can you imagine trying to get comfortable with a dislocated shoulder and a broken arm? It's not easy. Nor is it easy to get up and walk to the balcony for a smoke, but my boss helped me. That was the best part of that. Is that interesting? I think if I really wanted to tell interesting stories, I would just talk about cab driving, because that's the job that I had the most interesting thing happen to me, while doing. I could tell you when I was a security guard about almost, I was in this giant building and on these metal stairs coming off a catwalk. I damn near stepped on a possum, and it went scary animal. I mean, it wasn't playing possum at that time. It was playing, bad possum. Anyway, despite all these reservations, I'm writing an autobiographical novel. It's going to be called The Assassination of Olof Palme. And it's going to be an anthological novel. An anthology is a collection of writings. This anthological novel would be a collection of writings that are part of one whole novel. I am the sort of the conductor, and I will have at least 50, maybe up to 70 co-authors. But you'll never know when you're reading, what's written by me and what's written by someone else. I'll write 70 to 90% of it. It's going to be called The Assassination of Olof Palme, a people's novel. And it's an anthological novel. But it's also my autobiography. And we'll be, Nancy Reagan's a character. I never met her. But she was a big part of my life, being the wife of Ronald Reagan, who probably had the most deleterious effect on the United States of America of any president ever, including Donald Trump. And a lot of what Trump has done, or his oligarchic pals have done, is get rid of the few good things Obama did. I'm not talking about, the Obama that bombed 16-year-old Yemeni citizens of the United States in Yemen. Not that Obama. I'm talking about the semi-liberal Obama who did a few things for the environment and things like that. That Obama. All that's been thrown out. The big corporations in the United States have got they're just getting a free ride. Tax cuts and legislation to turn national parks into whatever industrial nightmare is considered necessary to make money in the short term. So Reagan's a big part of my life. I can't write an autobiography without talking about Reagan. So this novel has Nancy as a character and Ronald as a figure moving about. Oliver North is in it, but also some more secretive U.S. citizens who were spies and were Cold War spies, and having little else to do. They were supposed to form armies throughout Europe, like resistance armies in case the Russians attacked. I don't know if anybody really thought the Russians were going to attack Western Europe, but the U.S. made sure that Western Europe remained anti-communist. They had to blow up a lot of people to get that done. And so this is also in the novel. And I also need help because I don't know who the narrator is. And I know that there are some things I just don't know. Like what happened before the bombing that killed the accidentally dead anarchist that Dario Fo wrote about. Some people had to meet. So I'm sending my fictional Rick Harsch to find out. It's a safer thing for me to do. And, also other people are doing some work for me to find out what happened during, like Agent Mike is a character. What happened to Agent Mike? He just disappeared. I've got Fritz Bauer on that, and he'll find that out. So, nobody will eat chili in the novel. There's a very nice page about walking my dog that's used to show that even though you can write a nice page about walking your dog, you can write a lot more interesting page about a scary guy in a hotel room not doing anything but thinking. Much more suggestive, covers a lot more ground. So, today's class, which you can skip in 3 days, starting now. Set the alarm. Today's class is on autobiographical fiction and how to write it. You'll see. Corona Samizdat will probably publish the book in 4 volumes. First volume will be called Volume 1, The Assassination of Olof Palme, Volume 1. Anybody who's interested in being part of this, all you have to do is let me know, and we'll come up with an assignment for you. And you can write part of my autobiography. We're also going to be breaking a few rules that irritate me, like proofreading. Hate proofreading. In this book, I made the mistake of announcing while I was writing that I wasn't going to proofread. And then a bunch of the characters just went apeshit and said, oh, no proofreading. And they started attacking me personally, talking about some very sensitive issues that I went through in my adolescence. Not the car thing, which sounds cool now, but, it was dangerous, and I'm lucky to be alive and all that, but they're talking about some sexual things and puberty, and, I don't like it. But there's no proofreading, so I can't get rid of it. So, anyway, if you want in, let me know. If you want to ask more questions about autobiographical novels and the identity of the narrator, well, let me know, and I'll put you in touch with somebody with a butterfly hair ass rash. All right? There we go.